India. Just the name of this ancient country brings to mind visions of busy markets with exotic sights and smells, lavish temples and shrines, and dusty roadways continually traversed by man and beast. Rich color radiates everywhere, even in the slums. Undoubtedly among the most beautiful of all the races on earth, the people of India are peaceable and have a warm disposition. They have learned a cooperative lifestyle that lends order to the chaos of busy cities and towns. Yet all nations have their struggles, and India is no exception. Along with holding the second largest population in the world, India is home to 1/3 of the world's poor. Extreme poverty is a daily reality to over 300 million people. Raising and maintaining a family brings often insurmountable challenges. In such situations, people are driven to despair. The future for many of India's children is full of anguish. More than half the children in the country are malnourished. Overshadowed by the effects of a rigid caste system and deeply rooted tradition, statistics are foreboding and riddled with infanticide, abortion, and abuse. In the early 1900s, a young Irish woman named Amy Carmichael founded the Dohnavur Fellowship in the Tirunelveli district of Tamil Nadu for the purpose of rescuing exploited children from India's temples and streets.
When did you come here?
In the holiday. 1946.
46? How old were you?
5 days old. And one for
That's wonderful. And you're still here.
30 miles from here.
Amy's heart was to create a sanctuary where the children could grow, sheltered by love. Her love of beauty and attention to detail is reflected in the simple grace of Dohnavur's buildings and grounds, in the books and poetry she wrote about their life together, and especially in the hearts of the children she mothered so well. Amy taught them all to love life passionately and to settle for nothing less than God's highest. Today, Dohnavur is still actively providing a haven for girls, as well as reaching out to surrounding areas through their hospital and schooling facilities. Much in the same tradition, Pastor K.V. Daniel, founder of Voice of Gospel Ministries, received a burden for saving children who are being victimized by current social and economic pressures. Pastor Daniel exudes the love and joy of Christ wherever he goes. He knows firsthand the hunger suffered by those he seeks to help. Born in 1955 to a Christian family, he came to know at a young age that Christ had a purpose for his life. When God called him into the ministry, he obeyed wholeheartedly. In 1975, Pastor Daniel established Voice of Gospel Ministry with an intention to reach the unreached in India and the surrounding countries. Voice of Gospel is an evangelistic and compassion mission organization that focuses on church planting, training of the nationals, education, and welfare of the poor and needy. Through the years, they have planted well over 200 churches and support hundreds of native missionaries in many different parts of India. God used a conversation with one of his own pastors to open Pastor Daniel's eyes further to the immense desperation people were suffering around him. This particular brother was asking for an advance on his monthly pay and was reluctant to give an answer as to his reasons.
And I asked him, why do you want this money? And he said, it is something personal, I cannot tell it to you, He wanted to hide the reason behind, the reason behind why he wanted the money. But I insisted him and I said, unless you are going to tell me, I'm not going to give you money. So finally, reluctantly, he said, Pastor, my wife has become pregnant again. I already have a child. I cannot afford to have one more child. I cannot feed one more child. So the only alternative is to get the child aborted. That really shocked my mind. Being a missionary, living with me, if he will do like this, who has known God and who has a personal relationship, as a true Christian and who has to guide others and lead others, and if he is going to do this, what will be the condition of the world, whom they do not know about anything about God?
Daniel took time to seek God about this matter, and while praying, he felt God call him to take a large step of faith.
Then the Lord spoke to me, these people are aborting their babies because they cannot afford to feed one more mouth. So if you can take care of these children, and if you can supply their food to these kids, to their homes, their parents will never abort these children, but raise them.
This brought about the birth of the Save a Life Today, or SALT project. This ministry actively supports and enables mothers and fathers to make the choice to nurture and raise their children. In September of 2000, Pastor Daniel's heart for rescuing children grew even larger, with a vision concerning children of all nations.
I saw a vision. God showed me a vision. In that vision I saw trucks and trucks loads are coming and dumping the dead bodies of the babies into a big pond. And I saw the trucks are waiting in line so that they can come and dump and go. So when I looked into that, I saw all of them are the dead bodies of the babies from different nations, of different color, of different age groups. Then the Lord spoke to me, are you not worried about these kids, these people? Then they are my generation, they are my future generation. They are the next statesmen, apostles, pastors, leaders of the nations. But because nobody cared for these children, they are dead.
God spoke in answer to Pastor Daniel's heart, telling him to open mercy homes where a pastor and his wife, or a willing Christian couple, would take in 10 children and raise them with Pastor Daniel's support. He was to find sponsors for the homes, to provide the food, clothing, and schooling each child would require. It was of utmost importance to Daniel that the children be raised in a family, not an orphanage environment. He desired them to grow up with godly parents who would guide them in the teachings of Christ and love and nurture them into adulthood.
In the Bible, in the book of Esther, we know that Esther was an orphan, raised by Mordecai. So because he raised that orphan, she became the queen of the nation and able to change the whole history of a nation and of a people. And God said, this is what I'm going to do with these children.
Today, this vision is a reality, with 30 mercy homes in operation around India. Parents like Prema and Premraj are raising children that have been rescued from harm as if they were their own. It takes $20 US a month to support a child through SALT Babies, allowing the child to be raised by his or her parents. Many lives have been saved and families brought to Christ through this ministry. It takes $200 US a month to operate a mercy home. This covers all the expenses of food, clothing, and medicine for 10 children's needs. The children in each of these homes are loved, nourished, educated, and raised up together as a family, grounded in the love of Christ. The response of each child received into one of these homes has been tremendous, and the joy on their faces bespeaks the fruit of the labor.
She said she wants to be in the ministry.
Okay.
Oh, she too wants in the ministry. Oh, she too wants in the ministry.
Okay.
Oh, she too. She also wants to be in the ministry. She wants to be an advocate, attorney.
Oh, okay. Good for you. Good for you.
She wants to be in the ministry.
Yeah, she wants to be an advocate.
She wants to be a computer engineer.
Great.
She wants to be in the ministry. The ministry. She wants to be a teacher.
All right.
She wants to be in teaching position and also wants to be a minister. She wants to be the collector, that means the one who sits like the city mayor.
People like you and I can provide the support needed to continue rescuing children from the hopelessness and hunger they feel every day. Every dollar sent to these ministries is used completely in support of these beautiful children. Today, children in India can be offered an alternative to the hardships they face through the ministry of Mercy Homes and Salt Babies. That alternative is love. These children will honor their land by the light and joy within them, and India will be blessed with their love. Undoubtedly among the most beautiful of all the races on earth, the people of India are peaceable and have a warm disposition. Rich color radiates everywhere, even in the slums. They have learned a cooperative lifestyle that lends order to the chaos of busy cities and towns. India. Just the name of this ancient country brings to mind visions of busy markets with exotic sights and smells, lavish temples and shrines, and dusty roadways continually traversed by man and beast.